Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. Yoimiya's long-awaited rerun is here at last, and I know I'm a couple days late, but things have been pretty crazy lately. Anyway, in today's video, we're doing something I don't think I've ever done before, a revisited 5-star character Constellation 0 showcase. So you might be wondering how I have a Constellation 0 Yoimiya to showcase today. Well, this is a viewer's account. Fun fact, this is the first time I've logged into another Genshin Impact player's account in-game. The experience is quite something for a super omega whale like myself. So huge thanks to Buenari for letting me take this Constellation 0 Yoimiya for a spin. If you'd like me to showcase more viewer accounts for future Constellation 0 5-star character rerun showcases, do let me know down in the comments below. Of course, we need to familiarize ourselves with Buenari's Yoimiya and account. Buenari is a light spender, buying the welcome moon for the last year or so. However, I felt like this is still a great showcase of, essentially, a peak potential free-to-play achievable Constellation 0 Yoimiya. Yoimiya has the Rust at Refinement 5 equipped, the Shimenao's Reminiscence for her artifacts, and her talents are at 10, 10, and 8. Of course, she is at Constellation 0 throughout this whole video, and there are a couple builds featured here. An attack percent timepiece for her solo damage output showcase, and an elemental mastery timepiece for her vape showcase. Let's take a look, as we always do, at how much damage she does with her kit. Starting off with the attack focus build and her basic attacks. Without her elemental skill, it's unsurprising that Yoimiya isn't hitting very hard. However, what's hilarious about this is that she actually did a lot of damage with her uninfused basic attacks to the Regisvine. Next, we have her charge attacks. Her charge attacks have these pretty little sparkles, but equally surprising to me, they did far less damage to the Regisvine than her physical damage basic attacks from earlier. Her uninfused basic attacks and unimpressive charge attacks aside, what makes Yoimiya Yoimiya is her elemental skill infused basic attacks. After using her E in just a couple of combos, our Regisvine friend is history. Yoimiya's single target damage at Constellation 0 is as impressive as expected. And lastly, we have her elemental burst. The animation, while explosive, is unfortunately quite long. I am of course using Bennett here to whack her plant friend to trigger its explosions. It actually did a non-negligible amount of damage to our Regisvine friend over its 10-second duration. However, with the Shimenao's, Yoimiya's burst is usually used at the tail end of Yoimiya's rotation cycle, if it's used at all. With her solo damage output out of the way, let's see how much her team damage output is. Buenari's reverse vape Yoimiya team consists of Yoimiya, of course, Constellation 2 Aquila Favonia Bennett, Sucrose with Viridescent Veneer and Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers, and Constellation 0 Yelan with the Favonius Warbow. With this rotation, we're able to shred both Pyro and Hydro. Our poor Geovishap friend stood absolutely no chance, and Yoimiya was even able to perform an impressive 124,000 vape followed by a quick 153,000 vape. Unsurprisingly, Yoimiya performed remarkably well against a single target. Now let's see how large of a nuke I can pull off with Buenari's Yoimiya. Sadly, without Ayaka, melting Yoimiya's N5 is quite challenging, so I had to go for the biggest vape I could pull off. With the same team from earlier and a couple minor adjustments to her artifacts and eating some food, Yoimiya managed to output a 242,438 damage vape. Quite impressive for a vape on a Constellation 0 Yoimiya. So how is she in the Current Abyss? Unsurprisingly, the Current Abyss is certainly Pyro favored. However, 12-1-1 has a lot of enemies. This is a rare situation where Yoimiya's burst is preferred over her basic attacks, and she's still able to significantly contribute to this team's AoE damage output thanks to Sucrose's grouping and her burst's sticky property moving from one wave to the next. Then we have a few beefy targets that enjoy running around, and Yoimiya's auto-targeting, range, and high single-target DPS are perfect for disposing of these rather dangerous and aggressive hilichurls of the larger variety. This Constellation 0 Yoimiya was able to complete 12-1-1 in 43 seconds. 12-2-1 is against the Cryo Cube, and, well, Yoimiya doesn't even need Pyro Swirl or Yelan, but just Bennett's Burst and the Thrilling Tails buff to make quick work of the cube before it can even do a second attack. Here I spend a couple extra seconds filling up Bennett's Burst for the next floor, and Yoimiya effortlessly melted the sad remains of our Ice Cube friend in just 31 seconds. For 12-3-1, without Kazuha or Venti, it is difficult to group them together. Now this doesn't matter too much for this team though, as it is mostly single target damage focused because of Yoimiya and Yelan. Even though there are 3 targets and Yoimiya can only hit 1 at a time with her normal attacks, she mercilessly gunned down our underpaid Fatui friends one by one in a blazing 30 seconds. As we can see, a well-built and well-supported Constellation Zero Yoimiya is able to excel at her role of a single-target ranged DPS character and even crush the current Abyss 12. It's been nearly a year since Yoimiya's release, and I personally think she's still a great character, as long as you're willing to invest the time and effort into farming some great artifacts for her, and perhaps also go for a couple refinements on the rust. So there you go, this is essentially a revisit of a Constellation Zero 5-star character, and this time on a viewer's account. Buenari put in a lot of time and resin to farm Yoimiya up to this point, and this really demonstrates how dedicated farming for a character can really push them above and beyond most people's expectations. And this is just one way to use Yoimiya, specifically with a reverse vape playstyle. Yoimiya is surprisingly flexible, and she's certain to be a blast for anyone dedicated enough to provide her the resin and support characters she needs to sparkle. Let me know what you think about me featuring viewer accounts for future Constellation Zero showcases during a character's rerun, and if you'd like more videos that do this. Huge thanks to Buenari again for making this video possible. Also, I regularly make Genshin Impact videos ranging from C0 showcases, DPS showdowns, guide videos, and more. So be sure to smash the subscribe button, as it's the best and easiest way for you to support my work. Also, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. This is I Win to Lose, signing out.
Saあ、火の用心